Hi everyone and welcome. You're watching Chai with Chaitanya. I am Chaitanya. This is the place where I talk about books, movies and fandom. And today I'm here to talk about a book that became an instant favorite of mine, and that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Now I don't know why this book does not receive the same kind of hype and buzz and all sorts of craziness that other fandoms do, because this book is actually so good. And I'm just here to let you guys know that this book exists, and if you have not heard of it, then you should definitely make note of it. And through this review, hopefully I will be able to give you certain pointers as to why you should be picking this book up. And please note that this is a non-spoiler review, so you will not be spoiled. So let's just to talk about the story. And in here we meet one of our two protagonists, which is Nahari. And she is an orphan, a thief and a healer of sorts. She also knows many languages, and one of the languages that she knows is called Devasti. I hope that is the right pronunciation. And this language is the language of the Devas, the magical beings, and she doesn't know that how she got to know about this language or who taught her and how does she speak it so well. So one day when she's just going about doing her everyday work, she happens to call upon a magical being who's Dara, and he happens to be a jinn. And he is naturally very angry because he has not been disturbed or called by anybody, let alone a human, because Nahari is living in the human realm. So Dara is very confused as to how did a human know Devasti, the language of the Devas. And when he tries to learn more about Nahari's lineage, he gets to know that Nahari truly doesn't know a lot herself. This is that Nahari is a Nahid, and she has human blood but also Deva and magical blood in her veins. So he decides to take Nahari to the city of Devas, which is the Devabad, and he thinks that Nahari is not safe in the human realms. And very soon Frith, who are these magical monsters in this world, they attack Nahari, and then obviously Dara has to save her, and then we just go from there. On the other hand, we meet the other protagonist, who's Alizad. He is the prince of Devabad, the youngest son of the king who is ruling Devabad, Ghassan, and is this person who is very torn between what is right, what he believes is right, versus what he has been told by his parents, by the by the ruling class, that what is right. So he is constantly trying to help all those he can, and naturally, while family and his father and specifically all the people in the kingdom are not very happy, so he has to do everything in secret. And we just get to see that how he goes about doing this work until he meets Nahari, and then and intertwine, and we just get to see that how it goes from there. Honestly, that is, I know, a very vague synopsis or a plot for this book, but I have by default tried to not go in depth and explain you what everything is, because I think that it is best explored when you do it by yourself. And this would just let you know that where is the starting point and what you're getting into. About the world building and writing, now this book had a very particular Arabian Nights sort of vibe that I got from it, which I really enjoyed. And if you have read or if you are familiar with books like Sabaa Tahir's and Ember in the Ash series, or Hamza Faisal's We Hunt the Flame duology, then you will probably end up liking this book as well, because in my opinion it's a lot better than these two books, even though I have not read the entirety of these series. But I can still vouch on the fact that this really impressed me in terms of the kind of world that S.A. Chakraborty has created, which is very rich in history, but as well as it is rich in mythology. And there is this unique blend of these two, which is definitely a testament to the kind of research that has been put into ensuring that everything, right from the bazaars that she's created in the Devabad world, to the kind of dresses that these people are wearing, the food that they're eating, the kind of language that they're speaking, the political system that is in place, everything has been taken great care of. And that is something that really impresses me, because a lot of times high fantasies, and specifically adult high fantasies, what happens is that it ends up becoming very complicated because of the world building and because so much is happening, and it has to have that epic feeling to it. So naturally the author has to spend time exploring and setting up the world. And with this book, S.A. Chakraborty does all of that without getting into a zone where the reader feels that it's getting too overwhelming. I'm not saying that I did not have places where I where I was confused, but I did had a friend who was very helpful and he was ready to help me with all the answers that I needed. But if he was not there, and if you do not have a friend like that, then you can definitely check out S.A. Chakraborty's website. She has a list of all the terms and all the explanations that you would need. Also, alternatively, you can turn to the back side of the book where you have a glossary of all the meanings that you need to know about all the terms that she has used, or something that you're not sure of. Besides that, you can always find information on the web. Talking about the characters now, definitely because this is an epic fantasy, so it has a lot of characters, and while I cannot talk about each one of them, I will tell you that each of these characters, whether they are the main protagonist or the secondary protagonist or the sub characters, or just a character who has one or two instances to play in, every single character has been painstakingly created in a way that they feel very real. And despite of the fact that how small or big their role is, you will feel attached to them, in the sense that you will grow to care for them, or even if you're not growing to care for them, you will want to know that what happens to them next. Particular talking about Nahari, who's our main protagonist, I think she is a very well written character, in the sense that often in fantasies like these you have very similar storylines, and if you had to sit down and put it into the monomyth or the hero's journey, then you can put Nahari's story into that. And one of the major things about monomyth structure is that reading the book, or we start our story in the actual human world, and often these people are living very miserable lives, and they constantly keep complaining, and they're very whingy. And I think I have discussed this with my best friend Bukish Bell 1008 Vaishnavi, who I will be linking down below, that often we come across fantasy female protagonists or even male protagonists who just keep complaining about the kind of lives that they're living and how miserable they are, and it is. And I can understand and I can sympathize, but just having to repeat it over and over again does not make it more better or more highlighted. But in here, S.A. Chakraborty has given Nahari's character this nuance, where this is the fact that Nahari is living in anything but ideal conditions. She is able to make her ends meet, and she is very proud of the way she does it. And she is independent in the sense that she doesn't really care about what is happening around her and who is there, who's not there. Even when she meets Dara, she wants to take care of her own, and she doesn't really walks into hands in hands with Dara that yes, let's go to a place where I will be saved, because Nahari doesn't need saving. Like, she doesn't actually go with Dara unless she figures out that there is a genuine threat, and maybe Dara is probably the only person who can help her out. Other hand, talking about Alizad, so now I did see that a lot of people do not enjoy Alizad's character in the beginning, but they grew to learn more about him and then eventually like him by the end of the first book, or maybe by the second book. But in my case, what happened was that I instantly found myself attached to Alizad's character, and I think that happened particularly because I saw Alizad as this boy who wants to be a man, and he wants to take up responsibility, and he wants to make a difference in the world, but he is trying very hard, and it's not exactly his problem, because despite of how much he can do, there's always something that holds him back. So in a lot of ways, he reminded me of Jaime Lannister, even though Jaime Lannister's character is very different from Alizad's character. But the initial arc, if you look at Jaime Lannister, was very similar to what Alizad's character is. Like, they both wanted to like in one way wanted to help others, like wanted to do what they want to do with their lives, and at the same time they also wanted to make their families proud and look after their families, and like not completely go astray, because that would have their own consequences. And that is what happens here as well. So I was really interested with Alizad from the very beginning. And now going on and talking about Dara. Now Dara is probably my favorite out of all, and I was pleasantly surprised to see how the book ended, because that was definitely something that I had not expected or not predicted. And that is to say that this book is also very unpredictable. Like, at no points was I able to guess at what exactly was going to happen next and where the story is heading. So full points on plotting and structuring this book. Discussing about characters, I think I would also like to point out that this book hints towards a potential male-on-male romance between Muntadir, who is the crown prince, he's supposed to take up the kingdom after his father retires or dies, Ghassan, and between his best friend, who is Jamshid. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that, and I can't wait to see what happens in the second book, which I have right here, which I've not read so far, but I will be picking it up today itself. Going ahead and talking about the theme, so apart from the world that S.A. Chakraborty has created, which is very reflective of all the problems that we also face in our world today, two things that stood out for me was Nahari's journey of self-discovery, and that is to do with how she learns about the world that was taken away from her, and Alizad's sense of equality and justice and how it plays in the political system that Chakraborty has created with all the kinds of tribes and different communities that are there in the Devabad. Now quickly going ahead and talking about all the reasons why I enjoyed this book so much, and the first would be that I enjoyed this book because it was very different from what I have been reading for quite some time now, and that is to say that I had my fair share of Western based fantasies, Western settings fantasies, and it was time that I shifted to something else, and this was probably the best pick out of all. The second reason why I enjoyed this so much was because of the kind of connection that you have with each of these characters after a while. I think S.A. Chakraborty did a great job at setting up not only the world and characters, but also to ensure that the readers feel this connection with these characters, or they grow to care for these people in her world and for the world itself, to see that where it's growing and what is happening. Also stood out for me was the fact that this is a debut writing. Like, this was S.A. Chakraborty's first book, and if this was her first book, then I am absolutely sure that her second and third and all the other books that she's going to write will be phenomenal as well, because this book is insanely good. It's written and crafted and, you know, just built with utmost care and passion. Now, this book does not really focus on romance very largely, but romance is mostly kept as a subplot, and it's very subtle. But the good part about the romance is the way that it's done. Despite of it being very subtle, she's able to create an entire love triangle by the end of the book, which I was very surprised to see. This world that she's created is very unique, and it has everything that you possibly would want from a good fantasy book. In fact, from any book. Major job is to entertain people and to give them something that they would remember long after they have closed the book. There's a lot to talk about this book, honestly, and I don't think I would be able to talk much about it without spoiling it, because I want to talk a lot about the things that happens in the book, the story. I will be making another video probably after I read all the 3 books in the series, and then give you like an overall opinion, spoilery opinion about what I thought and why I loved it so much. Verdict is that I gave it a 5 on 5 stars, and there is no way in this world that I would have given it anything less. If there was a way, I would have given it 7 out of 5 stars, if that makes sense, to tell you that how amazing this book was and how much I enjoyed it and I loved it. So go out and pick it up if you haven't, and let me know what did you guys thought, if you have read it already, or if you are currently reading. We can probably do a buddy read, and that's it from this one, and I will be seeing you super soon. Bye.